Lisa, the love coach here with common factors that are going to push women into their masculine energy. Oftentimes when I coach women, they come to me because they are in their masculine energy and they don't know why, they don't know what makes them that way. And so we do a deeper dive to help them get understanding of what is making them that way. Typically it is attached to trauma, past things that happened that weren't healed properly. And then once those things are sorted out, then a woman can slide into her feminine energy. So healing is the way to get into your feminine energy. So before I dive into the content, you will be able to get a free love life assessment just by clicking in the description. There is a link there and it's totally free. And it is not an AI bot. It is me. You can actually fill out the full form. I get it, I review it, and I report back with a detailed assessment. So check out the Love Life assessment in the description below. Click the subscribe button. Let's get into the content. Okay, so when women feel the need to tap into their masculine energy, they often do so because it's a response to life circumstances and some kind of pressure that they might feel themselves under. So if you're somebody that has a lot of responsibilities and that you feel like you're always go, 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 do, and you want to shift that, this is a video that you're going to want to continue to see till the end. So let's get into what masculine energy is real quick and what feminine energy is more about. So masculine is more about things like action, doing, structure, control, assertiveness, and focus, like laser on point focus. Whereas feminine energy is more about intuition, your gut feeling. I have a feeling about this. Receptivity, receiving, and nurturing, of course. It's also an energy about ease and flow as opposed to trying so hard to effort to make something happen. Typically, a feminine energy is more leaning back and just seeing how things turn out with full faith that everything is going to be okay. And oftentimes a masculine man relies upon that feminine energy of faith to tell him, like, I trust you, you're going to figure it out, it's all going to work out, everything will be fine. And that in itself is just a belief that a man feels the woman believes in him, and it's very empowering for the man. So let's get into the details here about the common factors that may make women get pushed into that masculine energy. First, and these are not in any particular order, but there's just 10 of them. So the first of 10 is being a primary provider. So a lot of the women that I coach are very successful. They're independent. They do very well for themselves. They're self-reliant, and they are their own primary provider. And many of them are out earning men. So this is when a woman comes to me and she'll say, like, how do I talk about what I do for a living in a way that's more feminine? Because I do very well for myself and I don't want to downplay my accomplishments and my achievements, but at the same time, I don't want to come across as intimidating. And I want to be with a man who does either as well as I do or better. So these are typically the women that I coach. And the way around that is speaking about what you do for a living from a feminine frame, meaning talk more about the why. Why do you enjoy doing what you do? How do you serve in the world? And why does that light you up? Speak more on that from that standpoint, more of the feeling of it. How does it feel to be around your colleagues and do great work? And oftentimes, my corporate girlies, they come to me, and when we get to this level of questioning, they start to realize that they don't really like what they're doing. And a lot of the masculine energy is because they're not settled and they're not in what it is that they're doing. They're not feeling joyous and fulfilled in what it is they're doing as a career and a livelihood. So oftentimes they have to reflect on that. The second one is single parenthood. So again, that's that primary provider of everything, but now you also have a child or multiple children. Single parenthood requires that constant vigilance over your kids. So you're in a very doing, hyper-vigilant energy. And it ends up being very like super high responsibility, control, have to like make sure everything is in order, the need to make decisions on the snap. And these are all mostly masculine traits. So if you're always in that, it's going to put you more into a masculine energy, and then you're not going to know how to release that and step into a feminine energy when you're around a man. The third thing is the pressure to be independent. So society over the last 50 years, I'm 54, so since I was a little girl, women were raised to believe that they can do the same thing that men can, and they can succeed and thrive and be educated and go and have degrees and go to college and thrive and make money and all this, right? So this pressure to be that, instead of easing back in your feminine and saying, yeah, I don't really have any desire to do that. I don't want to work outside of my home, if at all. I want to work maybe 10 hours a week, and really being honest about what you need to feel fulfilled. And perhaps for many women, that is not working. It's being a homemaker, raising kids, homeschooling them, being active in the community. Granted, this lifestyle does come with a massive assessment of what you're spending your money on, right? So there are a lot of women out there who want to be in their feminine energy, and they want to meet a man who can afford to give them a lifestyle. And that's why women, very hypergamous, are looking for men who can afford to have them stay home. However, this isn't to stay home to be a prima donna. This is to stay home to find something else that you'd like to do. If you want to raise children, of course, that would take a big focus, but there's got to be something else that you want for yourself. So when you have that balance, then you're able to be feminine in your nature, right? You're able to be more feminine. You're like, okay, I crush it when I want to in a side hustle or something, but then my priority is really being a homemaker and nurturing the family and the kids and yourself, right? So that pressure to be independent often puts women in a hypermasculine state, because this is when women have I call it the I got it syndrome. I got it. I can do it. I got it. Right? Where it's reflexive. Guy opens the door for you. I got it. It's okay. It's okay. I got it. It's okay. I got it. You sound like a parrot. It's okay. I got it. Stop that. No. Feminine is thank you. So gentlemanly. Thank you. I appreciate that. See the difference? One is repelling, and one will bring in men who are babies and boys. The other brings in men who want to dote on you and care for you. And literally care for you, like precious little fragile egg, even though you're not that, right? You're a powerhouse. However, you want a masculine man to dote on you, to take care of you, to protect you, to provide for you, to do all the things, to be there for you when you're upset and you're just like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do about this. And he comes in, swoops in with 5 different solutions, and you're like, oh my God, this man is my rock. If you want a man like that, you have to slide into your feminine energy, and it's very difficult to do when you're hyper independent. Toxic masculinity relationship imbalance. Let's roll. If a woman is in a relationship with someone who is emotionally distant, unbalanced, she might unconsciously take on more dominant, protective, or a leadership role, compensating for the lack of emotional or practical support from their partner. Okay, so if you're the one showing up in the relationship and you might have anxious attachment and you're doing and giving and doing more because he is emotionally unavailable, but you lack the fortitude, the true independence, the true confidence to leave a relationship that is like that, right? So you have a lot of people out there who are very independent, do very well for themselves. They're the women who got their shit together. But when it comes to relationships, they're incredibly codependent. And why is that? Because they have yet to resolve the core issue, the core wound at the source of their codependency. Could be a daddy issue, a mommy issue, unresolved childhood issues is always the thing. This is the stuff that I help my clients with. And we get super laser on focused, figure out what is driving your behavior, and then heal it. Once you see it, you can heal it. And then we replace it with new behaviors, new choices, new ways of being. And as you do the inner work, as you get to the root of why it is you're so masculine at the core, then you can be in a spirit of fulfillment, a spirit of well-being, more chill, less anxious. The other one is number 5, the workplace environment. Okay, if a woman is in a male-dominated field and she's around men all day, or she's in a leadership role amongst women in a very corporate, hierarchical, structured environment, she will adapt masculine traits because those traits are going to help her succeed within the confines of that workplace. So this is, things like being very direct, succinct, unemotional, competitive, and to be taken seriously, to gain respect. So this then bleeds into her personal life, right? So I'm an advocate for stepping into feminine energy and being able to also work from a feminine energy. That's a whole other level and probably warrants a whole other video. The next one is number 6, which is dealing with emotional trauma or stress. And I kind of alluded to this one earlier, but let's do a deeper dive. When faced with difficult life events, loss, betrayal, significant personal challenges, women may suppress their emotions and adapt a more doing mentality. I'm going to push through. This horrible thing happened, but that's okay. I'm just going to push through. And those are coping mechanisms to adapt to the situation, and it just feels like you're managing the situation. But in actuality, you're being self-neglectful. And you probably learned how to be that way from your parents. So if you had an issue as a 6-year-old and your parents didn't tend to that issue and even made you feel wrong for feeling scared, anxious, upset, hungry, thirsty, bored, whatever you were feeling as a kid, if your parents didn't address you, to see you, hear you, validate you, talk to you, and just told you to get over it, get in the car, we're going, which is very common to people, then that is where you're coming from with this. This is the root of that. It's this high emotional, not having your needs met as an earlier kid, and now you're in this relationship with this person, and you're looking to them to do all of that. And so you're doing, giving, explaining, sending paragraphs, way too much effort. Lean back, get into this femme fatale energy that I teach people how to get into. Take a breath, get in your body, get totally chill, and then ask for what it is that you need. The 7th one is over-functioning and people-pleasing. Now, this is a form of codependency. So people who feel that they're giving, they're highly empathic, but they're not an empowered empath. So I teach empaths how to become empowered, and we do that through healing and boundaries. And people-pleasing. So people-pleasing is giving to get, typically. There's a wound there. And so you're giving, pleasing, saying yes when you mean no. Why? Because you want them to like you. You want them to love you. You want their approval, validation. So when you have this thing of extra responsibilities, you're taking on more than you can manage. You're overwhelmed with your friendships, your job, your career, work, family, etc. It's going to make you be more masculine because you're constantly going, doing. So it's this perpetual cycle that happens. And the feminine is more, how do I feel about going to my sister's house and helping her paint her kitchen? I don't know if I want to do that. I don't feel good in my body about that. What can I tell her? How can I let her down? I know what I'll do. I won't come to help her paint, but I will come and bring her food and we'll have lunch together. I'll go get us some salads and I'll stop by, say hi, and feed my sister, and then I'll be on my way. This is how the feminine scans their body. What do I feel? What do I need here? Is this a yes for me? Or is it a, right? Confident people are very strong in their yeses and very strong in their nos. And if you struggle with any of this, like I said earlier at the start of the video, click on that free love life assessment. There's a series of questions in it that will allow you to have safe space to share exactly what is going on with you so that we can start to look at it more focused and really get to the root of the problem of what's going on. You can find that in the description below. All right, so we're cooking. We're on number 8. Cultural expectations and gender roles. So societal norms that expect women to be strong, capable, in control can inadvertently encourage women to be on a more operating masculine, right? Suppressing their more intuitive, passive, chill, right? This intuitive nature is so important, and women are so disconnected these days from their own intuition. And one of the things that this work that I do with my clients helps them with, is to really reconnect to themselves in a profound way so that they are more intuitive, and that absolutely helps them professionally as well. They start to be able to read the room better. They're able to meet needs, anticipate needs, right? So they rely more on their intuition, and they are more aware and observant of their coworkers, and that of course always leads to promotion. So being in your feminine actually does better for you in a work environment than being in a masculine. The ideal is to be balanced, right? Balanced. You hustle when you have to hustle, and then you know how to slide into that feminine energy as well. So the ninth one is lack of emotional support. So when a woman is in an environment or a relationship where she does not feel that her emotional needs are being met, and where she can't be safe to be vulnerable, she might step into a very protective energy, which would be masculine energy, focusing on practicalities and solutions as opposed to emotions. So she becomes like the ice princess, right? That, I don't have emotional support in my life, therefore I can't go there. And she becomes then detached from her own intuition and her own emotions. She can't even name her emotions. This is typical of clients who come to me and they say, I don't even know how I feel about anything. I'm numb, right? There's a numbness, and they want to reconnect with themselves so that they can feel again. And finally, the 10th one that puts women into a masculine energy is fear of rejection or failure. When fear takes over, whether you're dating or in your career or life in general, women might harden themselves to avoid vulnerability, acting more out of ambition and strategy. So very mindset, very mind, very mental, cerebral, as opposed to being balanced head and heart. And it's going to put you in this anxiety, almost this energy of lack and scarcity. So these are the 10 most common ones. Were any of them making you say, holy shit, that's me? No shade thrown on you. We're all in it, right? This is the way society is right now. We've been programmed, us ladies, to do it all and do it looking fabulous. And so when we are like, why isn't this feeling good though? It's not working in my life. I lost a relationship because of this. I have struggles connecting with other women and making friends because of this. So this is the time that you are hunting on YouTube, looking for videos, and girl, I can totally help you with this. I had to do it for myself. So I can certainly tell you step by step what I did to balance out my masculine New York girl, get the fuck out of my way energy, and my feminine thank you, I receive with joy and grace energy, and it has been quite the journey. So I'd love to share that journey with you and get you started on your own. It is doable at any age, right? I was like 44 years old when I realized, like, holy moly, I'm in this masculine wounded energy. I had to do a lot of inner child work. And all the work that I did on myself is what I teach my clients, and I make it really fun. So if you want to get started on that journey and you found this video and you think my vibe is cool, get started with that free assessment. Just click the details in the description, and you can also follow me on social media. My links are below. Be sure to follow this channel, subscribe rather. It's YouTube. You subscribe on YouTube, and also hit the bell notification so that when this party gets started, you will get invited and you'll know when the videos are posted. Thanks so much.